All right, let's dive into two words you hear thrown around constantly: patriotism and nationalism. We kind of use them like they mean the same thing, right? Well, the source we're looking at today makes a pretty bold claim that they're not just different, they might actually be total opposites. Kind of wild, huh?
So let's kick things off with a scene that probably sounds really familiar. You're on Discord, right? A European jumps into the voice chat, and all of a sudden, it's like a switch flips. Everyone, and I mean everyone, starts defending their country with this incredible passion. We've all been there, haven't we?
But what is that feeling? You know, that sudden surge of defensive pride. Is that patriotism or is it nationalism? See, this is where it gets interesting. Because when you start pulling these two ideas apart, you uncover what our source says is a major conflict, one that's right at the heart of how we live today.
Okay, so first things first, let's tackle patriotism. And to really get what the author is arguing, we gotta go way back to where the word even came from.
So, believe it or not, this word goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. They had this term, patriota, and it was pretty simple. It just meant fellow countrymen, and it's rooted in the word patrios, which means of one's father. So right from the get-go, it's all about this idea of a shared fatherland, a common home. Okay, and this is where it gets really fascinating, because it taps into something deep inside us. The author argues that for most of us, patriotism isn't just about flags. It's about feeling important, you know? It gives us this sense of pride, of purpose, that we're part of something way bigger than just our own little lives. But here's the twist. The argument is that this old school idea of patriotism, well, it's been totally warped, especially in modern America. It's morphed into something else entirely. It's less about a fatherland and more like an economic contract. So what's the goal in this new version? Simple. Economic success. That's it. The whole game is about making money. The ultimate proof that you're a good patriot is that you've made it financially. And here's the part that really makes you think. What's the proof of that success? It's when your kids have to move hundreds of miles away for a better opportunity. Think about that. The system rewards you for breaking up communities and leaving traditions behind, all for a better paycheck. So from this point of view, what does the state actually want from you? It doesn't really care about your grandma's recipes or your local festival. Nah. It wants you to be a good, compliant citizen, to buy stuff, to believe in the system, and most importantly, to tell everyone how you're making it. The author uses this perfect, kind of hilarious example to nail this point down. The KFC famous bowl. You know, that thing. From this new patriotic view, it's not a weird pile of food, it's a masterpiece of efficiency. It saves time, it's cheap, it gets the job done. It's valued way more than a traditional, slow, shared family dinner. All right, so that's the picture of modern patriotism we're being shown. Now, let's switch gears. How does this stack up against nationalism? Well, according to this source, it's a completely different beast. And just like before, we're going to go back to the Latin. The word nation comes from natio, and this means a people of shared birth. The key word, the absolute core of it, is birth. It's about the people themselves, not the government, not the lines on a map. This is so important to get right. Let's break it down. A country, that's the physical land, the geography. A state, that's the government, the system of control. But a nation, that's the people, the actual human beings who share a culture and a history. These three things are absolutely not the same. And getting that distinction is everything because it sets the stage for the main event, the central conflict of this whole argument, the idea of the nation, the people, going head-to-head with the capitalist system that has supposedly taken over patriotism. So here it is, the main idea in a nutshell. In today's America, to be seen as a good patriot, you basically have to be a good capitalist. But nationalism, which is loyalty to your people, is fundamentally opposed to that. Why? Because capitalism demands loyalty to the system. And you can see this clash plain as day when you look at how each side views something as basic as land and labor. The nationalist perspective, land is a sacred heritage you pass down to your kids. The capitalist view, it's a resource to be stripped for cash. Same with labor. The nationalist wants to see their own people employed. The capitalist, they're just looking for the cheapest pair of hands they can find, no matter where they are. Let's put it another way. Their priorities are just completely different. Nationalism, in this view, is playing the long game. It's worried about the health of the people and the land for generations to come. Capitalism, on the other hand, is all about the short term.
maximize profit right here, right now, and worry about the consequences later. So what does this all boil down to? It really leads to one big, challenging question. Where does your loyalty really lie? Is it with the people or with the system?
And that's the final takeaway from this perspective. These two ideas, which we always lump together, have actually split apart. Patriotism, defined here as loyalty to the economic system, has gone one way, and nationalism, loyalty to your actual people, has gone another.
And this whole explainer leaves us with one last, really provocative question from the source. By redefining the words like this, it kind of forces you to think, right? It asks, why should caring for the people of your nation be a bad thing? If nationalism is just that, caring for your people, why does it have such a bad reputation? Definitely something to think about.